All summer long, we bounce around to different community centers, over BNBL games.
Just a talented group of guys that we've seen a couple of these teams throughout the season.
Wiggins with the one-handed block.
Wait for that one.
To win it, Mercer gets it to go, 3 seconds left.
That might get the Showstoppers going.
Ball to the rim, what a play, great ball.
Well played. Both teams really deserve to be in the championship game.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Reggie Lewis Center in Roxbury for the girls 18 and under BNBL Championship. Last game of the night, and it's the Wolfpack taking on the Showstoppers. Hello everybody, I'm Pat Flaherty, joined by my partner Alan Platt. Alan, we got the girls 18 and under championship game. Usually the gym's a little bit more packed for this game on both the girls and boys side of the basketball. We saw the Showstoppers fall in the 15 and under division this last game here at the girls BNBL Championships.
Great game,
but
though. Great
fantastic game.
Yeah.
So the Showstoppers don't quite have that streak going across the board, but this 18 and under team has won the last two. So we'll see if they can win it again.
I'll tell you how good they are. They're so good that their best players are going to play. Right. They're still going to be very good.
They're going to be fun to watch here tonight. We actually saw the Wolfpack play a couple of weeks ago over at the Tynan.
Right.
They have a bunch of girls that can shoot the ball.
Well,
and if they can light it up.
They finally got the whole team.
That's
even
right.
when we saw them, they won that game. It was a close game, but they were still missing a couple of their shooters.
Right.
And they're all here, which is that's all you can hope for.
Sure.
Yes, right. So we'll see how it goes.
Without question, these two teams sort of polar opposites with athleticism and then shooting for the team from the Tynan, but this should be a good game here for the girls 18 and under division. Quickly, we're going to go to our sideline reporter, Seth Orensky. Seth, what do you have?
Thanks, guys. I got a chance to talk to the Wolfpack head coach, Frederick Gillis. He said that his team is cautiously optimistic going into this one. They know they're at a big size disadvantage and that they haven't played the same level of competition. But they think this is going to help them not only today, but going forward into the high school season when they play together at Boston Latin. Guys, take it away.
Seth, thanks very much. We're just about set to go here at the Reggie. And like Seth mentioned, a lot of the girls on the Wolfpack, they're called the Wolfpack for a reason. A lot of them go to Boston Latin School. So very familiar with each other, all these girls from the Wolfpack. Meanwhile, for the Showstoppers, got a sprinkling of some Cathedral girls, some Fenway girls. Oh, by the way, those two teams made it to the sectional finals this past season.
Like I said, they're all experienced, very good players. In the 18 and under, you're talking about a mixture of girls who will be seniors, some who are actually finished high school and on their way on the way to college. So I was thinking that when we saw the Wolfpack, Rufo had a really good game.
That's right. She's jumping the basketball against Miara Carter right now. Wolfpack in the green, Showstoppers in the red. Wolfpack don't control the tap, but they do get the steal. That's Rufo, who had that good game just a couple of weeks ago against the Ravens.
Man-to-man defense for Showstoppers. And
good steal. That's Amani Boston. Three-pointer on the way and good.
Smith.
Serena Smith lighting it up from downtown. Nothing new for her.
Yeah, we've seen Serena all the way from 13 and under. Her father, Al, has been a coach in BNBL for a number of years.
Good swing that time for the Wolfpack, but the shot's no good off the backboard. Rebound comes down to the Showstoppers.
Jenkins.
Inside to Carter. Miara unable to convert underneath, gets her own rebound. Smith launching another three. That time she's short with it.
Full court pressure, as usual, from the
And we got to travel that time on Caitlin Pease, so that'll go back to the Showstoppers.
Wolfpack's coming out man-to-man defense.
Smith again, nothing but nylon. You definitely have to get out on her.
I'm just not sure why she's been left alone 3 straight times if they're playing straight man. That'll be a hell ball. It actually should be with Wolfpack. Yeah, see, Wolfpack, the problem they're having is that they're trying to move the ball to create an angle, but
Rufo unable to hit.
Every shot's being defended.
And a good job throwing it off of Carter. There for the Wolfpack. There you see Saran Kaba, the head coach of the Showstoppers. Another good player from O'Brien back in her day, which wasn't that long ago.
Well, it wasn't, yeah.
Pease on her way to the rim. Hits it off the window. Inside to Carter. And she's unable to squeeze it home, then knocks it out of bounds. That'll go back to the Wolfpack.
I mean, Kyle's missing those shots, but you gotta like the way she goes after her miss. She got the first one. That one she couldn't chase down.
Kelsey Nolan now in for the Wolfpack. I believe she was not at the game that we covered back in late July. Rufo with a runner.
Yeah,
rattles it home.
Yeah, Rufo had a big game, just like that. She likes to work around the foul line, and then she gets inside the lane.
Boston to the bucket, unable to convert. Gets her own steal.
Yeah, so they're taking away any outside shot just by moving their feet, the Showstoppers.
Off the steal. Straight to the goal that time for the Showstoppers was Talia Countryman. Back to a 4-point lead for the Showstoppers. Countryman was our MVP last year in this game. Short with the 3, but the rebound comes down to the Wolfpack. Runner is good. That time from Carly Harrinan. That's going to be, they're going to call a foul. Looks like on Caitlin Pease. I thought it was going to be an up and down on Amani Boston.
Oh, first free throws of the game. Yeah, the Wolfpack want to keep the pace slow. They don't want to let the Showstoppers get out in that fast break.
Substitutions for both squads. Okay, DeVerna now in for the Showstoppers.
And DeLiba.
Just saw DeLiba in the girls 15 and under game. Boston knocks down the second free throw. Boston going to head to the bench, and Kiara Ainsley now in for the Showstoppers.
Good job by Smith, anticipating that cut.
DeLiba on the drive, cannot score off the window.
DeVerna, DeLiba.
DeLiba again, and Rufo comes away with it. We got a foul in the backcourt.
I tell you, Smith has really been active for the Showstoppers. She hit those 2 threes to start the game, but even beyond that, I mean, she's moving her feet defensively. She had the steal in the last sequence.
Substitution for the Wolfpack. Pease takes a breather as Herring goes back in. Short jumper off the back iron. Jenkins inside.
Only about 3 seconds. Yeah. DeVerna was there. She was actually there and open, and Jenkins chose to drive before she made the pass. Still a 3-point game, 9-6.
Rufo looking inside, but it's swiped
Nice
away
steal
by DeLiba. Jenkins for 3. Stretches the lead to 6 here almost midway through the first half. Good hustle there from the Showstoppers. Ainsley off the back iron. Smith trying to feed it inside, stolen away. That time by the Wolfpack. And DeLiba commits the foul. Her first personal.
We talked about players playing both 13 and 15. And DeLiba obviously playing 15 and now playing 18 and under.
Well, as we mentioned before, a big-time contributor for Cathedral on their varsity team. So playing with 18-year-olds is no stranger for DeLiba.
Well, plus her game translates. I mean, she works hard, she rebounds,
right.
She gets good position, and so I mean, she could play in the women's league because she has the size. She knows how to use it. She's strong. I really liked how she plays. She gets a little emotional sometimes when she misses shots, but that's part of being young, I guess.
That's part of being a high school basketball player.
Right. But other than that, she's she can really be special. Just not sure if she's going to grow anymore. I mean, her size is an asset at this level. You just don't know if she's going to continue to grow. But right now, she knows for what she has. She knows exactly how to use her assets.
That's something you think about sometimes with high school freshmen who play varsity right away, and especially if they have good size. Because they saw a nice move from DeLiba, but she couldn't finish. Carter, top of the key, buries the jumper. But Daliba, players like Daliba as a freshman, if her size is to her advantage, sometimes those freshmen just have their growth spurt earlier than others.
Right. You never know until you're a junior.
Right.
Right. That's the issue.
Carter coming away with the steal. Carter got away with the travel. Daliba able to squeeze it in.
DeVerna actually helped make the play because she kept the ball alive. It's one of those plays that don't go into the scorebook because it's not actually an assist, but because she tapped it and kept the ball alive, that's how Daliba was able to get the score.
Meanwhile, for the Wolfpack, unable to score the bucket inside, but heading to the free throw line is Mary Kate Golden. 10-0 run for the Showstoppers. We'll see if Golden can put a stop to it. She does not on the first. Substitution for both squads coming back in for the Wolfpack is Sarah Rufo. Also coming back in for the Showstoppers is Talia Countryman.
See the half-court set sets up those three-pointers.
Back come the Wolfpack. Here comes Harrinan. And she lost her footing underneath, so that'll go back to the Showstoppers. I think Coach Gillis wants a timeout here. 6:27 left to go in the first half. 12-point lead for the Showstoppers.
I think Coach Gillis wants to slow his girls down. They want to be deliberate to give their shooters a chance to get some open looks, and there's been very few so far.
Yeah, everything has been contested against the Wolfpack so far. You talk about the Showstoppers and how, inside the Wolfpack just have no open looks. Down low, you have, Miara Carter, who has always been a tall center in BPS.
Yeah, and DeVerna is actually she came off the bench.
Probably taller than Carter. And you have Daliba. So you have those three in for a good stretch of time. A lot of size down low for the Showstoppers.
You're not going to get anything inside. And if the guards outside, if they keep moving their feet like they've been doing, and like you said, challenging the shots, it's tough because, like you just said, you get DeVerna and Carter in right now, so they're going to protect the basket. And out front, the guards just have to stay between their player and the hoop.
Showstoppers, a 12-point lead. They're really sharing the ball well. 6 players have scored out of the 8 players on the roster, as Countryman could not hit anything underneath.
Trying to get to DeVerna.
And she scores underneath, so Kaya DeVerna. It's in a 14-point game. Rufo trying to feed it inside. Nice play to swat it away by Boston. Ansley trying to get it to Carter in the corner, but that'll go back to the Wolfpack.
Ansley, another player who played 50 and under.
He's going to line up a 3. That goes off the back rim. Boston down the other end. Harrinan once again throwing it off a Showstopper, so that Wolfpack will get that possession. Serena Smith coming back in for the Showstoppers.
And Jenkins.
Verna and Ainsley head to the bench. Wolfpack have been stuck on 6 for a while here. Now late in the first half.
Yeah, the Showstoppers have scored the last 12 points in the game. There's that pressure defense that we talked about.
Harrinan gets fouled down on the block.
Foul on Serena Smith.
You know, Harrinen's probably the shortest player for the Wolfpack, but she seems to be the one that knows how to move inside a little bit better than everybody else.
She's actually created a couple of openings for the teammates, but the defense always recovers. She must be one of the older players on the team, because I noticed in the timeout, in the huddle, she was actually doing some of the talking to her teammates in terms of telling them where to go. But I mean, the size is giving them fits right now, and the quickness of the Showstoppers. You play a high-low right now. You get Countryman giving it to Carter.
Nice move by Carter. She couldn't convert. Put back no good from Miara. Another rebound for Carter. And now it's Countryman who ties up the Wolfpack, and that should stay with the Showstoppers. Carter, beautiful feed inside to Countryman.
That's a good pass. I mean, that, it looked like Carter was going to go with that left-handed layup. Instead, she dropped down the pass to her teammate who was just under this. See Countryman underneath by herself. Carter drew all the defense. Makes it look easy.
That goes back to the Wolfpack here with just over 2 minutes left in the first half. Harrinan, all by herself, gets stuffed inside by Miara Carter. Wolfpack still having a tough time knocking down the outside shot as Carter runs the floor beautifully for the Showstoppers.
She came from the baseline and sprinted the entire floor.
18-point lead for the Showstoppers. Currently on a 16-0 run. Feed inside. Harrinan off the up fake. Tries a runner. Smith pushing it up now for the Showstoppers. And Boston gets tripped up by Harrinan at the top of the key. Now they're going to call travel on Boston. DeLiba back in for the Showstoppers. Miara Carter going to head to the bench. Another steal by Boston. Here comes Countryman. Jenkins to the basket. Deja Jenkins off the window. A 20-point lead for the Showstoppers. Feed inside. Wolfpack again unable to hit it.
Jenkins tipped out of bounds, trying to keep control of the ball.
If you're the Wolfpack right now,
I mean,
just try to stop this run.
Right.
I mean, I think that's first and foremost. Just try to stop this run right now that's up to 18 points.
I mean, in reality, they've gotten maybe 2 decent looks at the basket the last, 6 minutes. It's going to be a foul on the pass.
So Boston committing the foul for the Showstoppers. Either team in foul trouble. Runner no good for the Wolfpack. Here comes Boston with 10 seconds left in the half. Amani lost it on the way up.
Going up, yeah.
And then stepped out of bounds as she tried to save it. Heronin before the half. And it's all the Showstoppers so far as they lead the Wolfpack 26-6 here at the break. And right now the Showstoppers, they're just able to rebound. We talked about their size so much in the first half. The rebounding edge certainly goes to the Showstoppers. And again, creating turnovers and running the floor so well, especially the bigs. We've always talked about bigs being able to run the floor really helps a fast break.
Oh, no doubt. And the size has also helped to take away any open looks by the Wolfpack. And they just simply can't get any open shots. I mean, when we saw them earlier in the season, they didn't have all their players, but they played against a smaller team. And that was a big, big difference.
Without question. Our sideline reporter, Seth Orensky, is with the Wolfpack head coach, Fred Gillis. Seth, take it away.
Joined by Coach Fred Gillis. Coach, obviously the scoreboard's not what you want, but your team continues to push the ball. They continue to go down low, looking for the baskets that they've scored all season long. How is this going to help them in the long term, maybe if not in the second half of this game?
Long term for these girls to play a team like this is just invaluable. And what they're learning today, even though it's tough, these are tough lessons. I'm on the sidelines there. They're just mad. They want to play better and they want to do better. They're not down. They're angry and they're trying to figure out how to do better. And that's what you want to see. But this is a great experience, and going forward, I think it'll pay off dividends for them in the winter.
And then forget just the opponent, playing in front of a larger crowd, playing on a college campus, that also is probably going to help some of these girls who might have bigger aspirations. Absolutely. I mean, this is a great, the atmosphere here is awesome. The crowd cheering both ways. And I think the girls are reacting very well to it. And I'll say it again, I'm not doing a lot over there, they'll tell you. They're talking to each other and they're working hard, and they had a game plan when they came in, and they're mad at themselves that they didn't execute that game plan. And it's just a wonderful group over there working their buns off. Coach, thanks so much for your time. Good luck in the second half. Guys, it's all yours.
Thanks very much, Seth. And certainly if you're the Wolfpack and you're Coach Gillis, that's a good sign that your players are mad and not down. You know, you don't want to see the players sort of looking down or anything like that. You want to see them sort of PO'd instead. Right. That's what you got
exactly,
right now.
Yeah, I mean, because you're not going to look up to the scoreboard, that's for sure. But you know, when I'm thinking back to when we saw them during the season, they were setting picks at the foul line, cutting off picks and getting open looks.
Right.
We haven't seen that yet. Now, it's different when you have athletic players playing man-to-man against you. You know, long arms, good quickness. But I think that for the second half, they've got to start setting some picks. They've got to start trying to cut backdoor, even though they're bigger players, so they're waiting. But the Showstoppers have actually done more execution in the half court.
That's right.
I mean, they've been able to have nice little cuts to the basket. Offensive rebounding, obviously, because of the size, but and then it doesn't help. That doesn't hurt to have Smith start the game with 2 threes, right?
That's right. That was pretty good off the bat there for the Showstoppers. You talk about Smith knocking down threes. You talk about players inside. You also have good ball handlers on the Showstoppers side. You got Boston, Countryman, Jenkins, a lot of good players who can really handle the ball, and especially on the girls' side of the basketball. That's a huge difference.
Well, and again, the site that they come from makes a difference. I mean, the Showstoppers play tougher competition. They play bigger teams. The Tynan site does always have good teams, organized teams, but they pretty much lack size. And that's what's been shown out here. That's a big part of this 20-point deficit.
Without question, the size, rebounding inside. The Showstoppers lead the rebounding edge 23-4. There in the first half. So if anything, the Wolfpack got to probably box out a little bit more.
I think I might call that more than an edge, huh?
Right.
But again, that's part of basketball. I mean, you play with who you have, and you have to adjust to whatever whoever you're playing against. I'm just waiting for them to set their first pick.
Wolfpack come out of the timeout with the basketball.
So you get an aggressive man-to-man in a half-court set. So you've got to free up the ball handler somehow.
Heronin driving baseline. They fire up a three.
That was a good shot, though. That's the kind of shot that they've been making. I'm sure all summer they were making those in the game we did.
Jenkins short on the three. Countryman goes after the loose ball. Jenkins trying to squeeze it inside. Countryman another rebound. Can't put it back up and in. Countryman with a third rebound of possession. Inside to Carter. She's triple teamed. Carter with a great move to the rim.
Yeah, she's really come a long way since from a couple of years ago.
And Coach Rice always wanted Miara to sort of thin out a little bit, get a little more aggressive,
She's done
and
both.
get a little bit better hands.
She's done
and
both.
She's done all three of those things.
So that's the cut that I was talking about. But again, the defense can, even if you beat the defender on the initial step, they'll all recover.
Off the up fake, Carter gets the basket and the foul. Great move from Miara Carter.
Nice aggressive baseline move, under control. You see on the baseline, and that's just basic basketball. And it doesn't really have a lot to do with her size. In that case, she's made a very nice, strong move.
And Carter finishes the three-point play, so Miara Carter extends the Showstoppers lead to 25. Just under 18 minutes left to go in the second half.
There you go.
Good feed inside. Layup is missed. And a block inside
So you got to have
from
those.
Talia Countryman.
That time Carter overcommitted and actually left her open.
Carter no good on that jumper, so the rebound comes down to Holly Gillis.
Yeah, two Gill sisters are in now.
Boston trying to create the contact.
She did.
She leaned in.
Play a control foul. There you go. Set the pick and then spot up. There you go.
A good runner from the baseline, that time from Caitlin Pease.
And all you can do is try to swing the ball until one of your teammates is in shooting range and can get a free look.
Carter inside. Substitutions for both squads as Duvara comes back in along with DeLeva. And also Kiara Ainsley back in the game for the Showstoppers. And Gillis going to be called for the walk. Allison McGaw also in for the Wolfpack. Three-point on the way and good. Ainsley, excuse me. Kiara Ainsley knocking it down from the corner. Pease. And she's going to be called for the extra step.
Yeah, she slid that pivot foot. And again, defense does that to you. That's a regular move of hers, but she's used to finishing. She knows the defense is sort of swallowing her up. Going to try to create some space. DeLeva. That's how I was mentioned before. She just knows how to get to the block and really seal. Going to be a foul on Jenkins.
So Holly Gillis now heading to the free throw line, shooting two. You know, at the end of the first half, you noticed that there's about 3 or 4 fouls only on the Showstoppers. With how aggressive they are, if you're the Wolfpack, wouldn't you want to try to create a lot more contact, try to get to the free throw line, maybe slow the game down a little bit?
Oh, definitely. I just, like I said, I mean, we have seen a few picks get set this half, but I'm just really surprised that we haven't seen a lot more. We barely saw any in the first half.
Right.
They have a few girls who like to drive to the basket. You mentioned earlier, Henderson tried a few times on her own. Obviously, she got swallowed up with the big players against the basket.
Gillis hits 1 out of 2.
DeVerna.
She's actually had a nice game. I mean, she's coming off the bench, but as soon as she gets in the game, she does something right. DeLiba, so aggressive, gets that steal. DeVerna running the floor. And Ansley tried to squeeze it into DeVerna. Substitution for the Showstoppers as Amani Boston comes back in. Serena Smith going to head to the bench. Showstoppers. As DeLiba got caught underneath DeVerna there to clean it back up.
She's gotten taller, but I mean, it's like she's still moving well.
And Russo just has nowhere to go with it. Gillis with the open 3. Buries it for the Wolfpack. Holly Gillis with a few points here in the second half to spark the Wolfpack. Open 3 is missed that time from Ansley, and DeLiba can't hang on to it.
She was looking for a shot before she actually corralled the ball.
Some more substitutions. Hanzik coming back in for the Wolfpack, along with Mary Kate Golden. Quickly down the floor go the Showstoppers.
Ansley couldn't finish, but got a reaching foul on Boston.
There you see Hugh Coleman. Monty Boston commit the foul. That's her 3rd personal foul, 3rd team foul here for the Showstoppers. Banker is good there for Allison McGaw. Wolfpack putting together a couple of baskets here in the middle of the second half. That 3 off the back rim for Countryman. Russo gets swallowed up, but she'll head to the free throw line.
Yeah, she's been quiet. Hasn't had the ball that much. That was a good drive there.
So Rufo shooting 2 free throws. Miara Carter getting ready to check back in for the Showstoppers. And Rufo knocks down the first. Carter coming in for DeLiba. It's nice when you can substitute, you know, like an all-star caliber player for another all-star caliber.
Or you can leave them both in, right?
Right. Rufo 2 for 2 from the line. Back to a 22-point lead for the Showstoppers. 9.5 minutes left to go. Countryman with a runner.
Yeah, she has an all-around game. You know, she can handle the ball if they need it. She rebounds.
Rufo on the drive gets the shot knocked away once again. Three short that time from Amani Boston. Substitutions again for the Showstoppers as Smith and Jenkins come back in. Riara Carter and Amani Boston going to head to the bench.
We're seeing Carter do a lot of different things now.
Steal that time for Gillis. Good pass up the floor. McCaw couldn't quite put it home. Put back no good for the Wolfpack. Jenkins comes away with it. Carter with another step back jumper. If she can get that shot down, Fenway's going to have a very good center this year.
Yeah. No, you're right. So she's added that to her game.
Serena Smith just casually strokes another three.
3 out of 4 shooting threes. She actually hasn't played that much. I mean, she's in the starting lineup, but she's been sitting a lot.
Good runner that time from Rufo.
Rufo. Rufo blocks Carter's shot.
Gillis. Put back good that time inside for Mary Kay Golden. Another three from Jenkins. The lead has ballooned to 30 here with 6 minutes left to go in the second half. Showstoppers. Well, when this Showstoppers team can knock down threes, you talk about the size inside, and they're able to hit those
that's
threes.
The thing. It opens everything up so the ball can get inside.
Right. Yeah. It's kind of like pick your poison when you're the opposing team. But this Showstoppers team, you know, we took a look at their roster and we said, yeah, this is a really good team. You got a lot of girls from Cathedral who, as we mentioned, won this Division IV state championship on the girls' side this year in high school. Meanwhile, you got a couple of girls from Fenway who made it to the state semifinals against Cathedral.
Right.
So you've got some girls who have a winning pedigree, who've played
and they're used
top
to playing.
competition.
Right, yeah, they're used to playing against tough competition. I mean, size isn't an issue. Carter's the biggest player in the game, DeVerna, but they've played against bigger players. So this is actually easier for them. They're not being really challenged. Carter's making some amazing shots because she's not really being defended with any kind of size.
Coming out of the timeout, Wolfpack with the ball down by 30. I like what Coach Gillis said, though. He said this is really going to help these girls, especially coming into the high school season in the wintertime, playing against this tough competition.
Well, Latin's in that tough conference. They're in the dual county. So there are a lot of big teams. That they'll be seeing.
Here comes Caitlin Peace.
Sort
of got caught in between there.
Got herself off balance.
Serena Smith. Oh, you got to be kidding me. Serena Smith with the pull-up three.
Wow. The others, she was just spotted up. That one, she dribbling the ball and pulls up for it.
Aaronin trying to answer, no good. Inside, the rebound comes down to Countryman. Talk about size. I always thought Talia Countryman was sort of a guard. She's certainly grown herself.
Right. Yeah. And that's why she's pretty much an all-around player because she has the guard skills.
DeLiba short on that jumper. Countryman there to put it back up and in. Seems like that's DeLiba's sort of one flaw offensively. She doesn't really have that outside jumper just yet.
Not yet, but she's young.
Good hustle play that time from Alexis Hanzik. Ufo off the up fake. Can't get the floater to go. Good box out from DeLiba. Jenkins gets fouled on her way to the basket.
Well, I guess the Showstoppers have started another streak, right?
The streak certainly ended with 15 and under.
I was going to say that was just a fun game.
Yeah, that was great.
That was such a fun game.
We've had some good 15 and under games in the past. I think we had an overtime 15 and under game.
That's right. That's right.
A couple of years ago.
What's interesting, you come in and a lot of people will come, families and friends, just basketball fans. They always expect the 18 and under to be the best game. They assume,
right?
The older kids,
best skill, best development.
But you're right. Over the last few years, we've had the 15 and under has probably been the most exciting division. We'll see how the boys are tomorrow. But for the girls, it's been a little different.
I think sometimes you see with the 15 and under division is all the players are sort of with the combination of maturity physically and skill development are usually kind of all the same, and then one or two of those things for some of those players
give someone an edge.
Kind of give somebody an edge in the 18 and under division. 13 and under, it's kind of some kids are just there and have played a lot of basketball, and some just haven't.
Just running around learning, and then the skill, whoever the skill players are, they just take over. But 15, you're right. 15 is that's probably the most interesting combination because you can have some younger players like we saw today. Younger players who can play both 13 and 15. Then you can have some 14 and 15-year-olds who are just starting to sort of develop their own skills.
Sure.
So that combination can make for that was an amazing game.
That was fun.
It seems like it just flew by because it was such a good game. It was so back and forth.
Both teams could run. Both teams could play sort of the half-court offense as well. Verna knocking down the first free throw. Holly Gillis coming back in for the Wolfpack. Good rebound inside for Carter.
Yeah, far reaching foul on Harrinan.
coaches for the Wolfpack just saw Carly Harrinan was on the bottom block for the box out there on the free throw.
Wrong spot.
Yeah. She fights like a big post player, but
she had the burner next to her. So,
yeah.
Well, it is interesting because the Wolfpack, like you said, most of them do play at Boston Latin. And they're they're probably one of the few BNBL teams that really have a high school team all together.
Sure.
Because usually BNBL, it's more fun. You get to play with some of your personal friends. Sometimes you play with teammates from your high school team, but
a lot of times we see combinations of high school players as well. Here comes Rufo with a 3-on-2. And that time they're going to whistle Countryman with a foul.
I don't think Rufo saw her sneak up on her. Okay, look at Rufo trying to set herself.
Sarah Rufo, 8 points now for the Wolfpack. She leads the squad. It's going to be tough to pick an MVP tonight for the Showstoppers. So many players contributing. Carter off the drop step. Couldn't get that one to fall. Put back good there from Harrinan. Harrinan's played this whole game with a bandage on her nose. Not sure if she got hit or what happened to her over the summer. But she certainly hasn't.
That might be a sunburn.
From having them many times with this pale Irish skin, yes, I understand that could be a sunburn. He's knocking down the three for the Wolfpack. She's got a feeling of that one going down. Wolfpack have not been able to hit too many threes so far.
Well, when the game was earlier in the game, you had the Showstoppers playing like real defense, and those open shots just weren't there.
See Daliba. Had a very good game in the 15 and under division. Made big contributions here in the 18 and under game. That's Countryman knocking down the first free throw. Yara Carter going to head to the bench with a great game tonight for the Showstoppers. Countryman knocks down the second. So the Showstoppers will make it 3 years in a row in the 18 and under division, as they continue their streak of dominant performances in the girls 18 and under championship game here at the Reggie.
And that's the advantage of having a program, because again, we talked a number of times about how when you're starting up with actually 10 and 11-year-old players playing 13 and under, and then they move on to 15 and under, and so by the time they get to 18 and under, they're pretty much accomplished players.
That's right.
Then when you bring in players from around the city, from the best teams, you have a very strong program.
Without question, you have so much success, in all of the divisions, too. You have girls in the 1300 division a couple of years ago who won the title and keep winning all along the way. They're just going to expect to win and are going to know that they are expected to win.
And that's the key, because they're going to keep working hard.
Right.
They're going to stay within the system. And I'm not going to say it's easy, but it's comfortable, because you know what's expected. You know you just have to work hard. You have to play within the system, play within yourself, and your contribution might be different from another teammate, but it all sort of blends together.
Without question, the Showstoppers continue their winning ways here in the girls' 18 and under division. They take down the Wolfpack here at the Reggie in the final game of girls BNBL Championship night. Folks, we're going to head to break. When we come back, we'll have the Game of the Week MVP and our final stats here from the Reggie Lewis Center right after these words.
When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke.
I'm Paul George, and I want you to spot a stroke fast.
F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911.
Protect the ones you love.
Spot a stroke fast.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Got a quarter?
Welcome back to the Reggie Lewis Center in Roxbury at the conclusion of Game of the Week. Girls 18 and under BNBL Championship. Showstoppers take down the Wolfpack 62-30. Ton of players in the Showstoppers tonight with some great games. I mean, we saw Serena Smith knock down 4 threes. She had 12 points tonight. Yeah. I mean, you saw Vera and a few other players. Amani Boston didn't score a lot, but did a lot defensively and handling the basketball.
Yeah, Countrymen, I mean, they just have a lot of weapons.
They do. They have a ton of all-star caliber players, but it was Miara Carter who had the great game all around, both rebounding, scoring, playing defense. She is our MVP, and she's with our sideline reporter, Seth Orensky. Seth, take it away.
Joined by Miara Carter and Saran Kaba of Showstoppers. Miara, 14 points, 16 rebounds, 3 assists. Which of those stats do you think that Coach Rice over at Fenway would like the most?
The rebounds the most. He always tells me if you can't score, you got to get the rebounds on defense and offense.
It seemed like you were a little bit more aggressive today with your dribble. What skills have you been working on the most heading into the high school season?
No, being able to dribble, being able to work my way into the post, being able to come out and actually shoot the jump shot. And with the dribble, it just came with me from hard work.
You said off camera that you were one of the underdogs on last year's team when you guys won it. You played with another MVP, Talia Countryman, who got it last year. What does it mean for you to be the top dog today?
Nothing. I feel like it was just a team effort. It was for everybody. I feel like everybody got MVP. We all worked hard. It was hard work. To me, MVP is just showing that I got somewhere. My skill level got better.
It's a very profound answer. Congratulations. Saran, everybody knows that the Showstoppers have had a lot of success over the past couple of years. You saw the 15 unders fall a little bit short. Was there a little bit of extra motivation heading into this game?
Absolutely. I mean, the first thing the girls said was, we can't come short. We can't come in here and think like, hey, this is an easy game. And they came with that intensity, and we went from there.
Speaking of motivation, obviously when you get a big lead, especially early on, sometimes as a coach it's difficult to keep your team focused. How are you able to keep them invested throughout the game? The defense was there, and even on offense they were still looking for those good shots.
Right, I said, hey, we might be up by 30, 40, but work on your game. Find that team chemistry, keep the momentum up, and keep going. You know, we don't want to lead up. What if they started shooting and scoring? So they kept together, and it was great.
Well, congratulations on joining a long line of coaches who have won with the Showstoppers. Guys, take it away.
Seth, thanks very much, and certainly Miara Carter, very appreciative of her teammates and everything.
I like your answers.
I mean, I think she knows the kind of players she's playing with too. So I mean, and she's played with some pretty good players at Fenway over the past couple of years as well. So I like what you said there about it's not just about her, certainly, and for good reason. There's so many other players in that team who can play.
But I think one of the things that sometimes gets overlooked is, see, she's the biggest player on the court, all right, on the team. But it's not always easy to be the biggest player, and still perform well like that, because it's expected that, well, you're so big, you should be dominating. That's not always the case. Like we were saying during the game, we saw, because we've seen it for the last couple of seasons at Fenway, we saw some new things from her tonight. Right. And so if she's going to translate that and bring it to her high school season at Fenway, that's going to be another dimension that Fenway has.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see her develop here now in her senior season at Fenway, as she showed us a lot of skills here tonight. Let's take a look at the final stats from this one before we sign off for the girls' night of the BNBL Championships. And first up, it's the Wolfpack.
Yeah, Wolfpack just had a tough time all around. I mean, the first half, they could barely get shots off. They did start to get a few points. The second half ended up with 30, 15 between Rufo and Peach. When we saw them during the season, those two girls actually had close to 30 points between them. All right, rebounds, 6 between Gillis and Peace, and then just 4 assists between Peace and Rufo.
And then it's the Showstoppers.
Spread things around pretty well. Carter, the outstanding player, with about 14 points, followed by Smith with 12. You mentioned 4 threes, and her first 2 threes just basically gave them a 6-0 lead and got them off and rolling. Carter's 12 rebounds, Countryman 8 rebounds, Carter with 4 assists, and Smith with 4 assists. So a lot of weapons, basically. They'll pass the ball, they find the open player, and in the end, they can either go inside or they can have someone just drain the 3. So
they can do pretty much everything they want to do on the floor.
It's really tough to defend. And then the other thing the Wolfpack was against, they were so undersized that they really couldn't do much defensively. They started the game out man-to-man, and they gave up the 3-point shots. They're giving it up inside. Then when the leader came off the bench, she was doing work inside. it was just a tough night all around.
Without question. Nothing was easy at all here tonight for the Wolfpack. But like Coach Gillis said, I think they're going to help. That's going to help that Wolfpack high school team later on this winter when they have their high school basketball season. We'll see how that unfolds as well. Folks, I want to thank you very much for joining us here in the Girls 18 Under Championship. If you want to watch this game again, you can certainly go to our website, www.cityofboston.gov/game of the week. All the games from this BNBL season are up there. You can also follow us on Facebook. We post links to Facebook as well. Search for Game of the Week in Facebook here in Boston, and a lot of good stuff up there, so make sure you like us on Facebook and also follow us on Twitter at Boston City TV. And if you want to tweet at us, use the hashtag BostonGOW. One night of BNBL Championships down, one more night to go, but it's been a fun night here at the Girls BNBL Championships. So I'm going to say so long here from the Reggie Lewis Center. We'll see you next time on Game of the Week.